Hello everyone, and welcome to Dandelion Lessons. I'm so excited to share this with you today. And just so you know, Dandelion Lessons will now be on YouTube every other week, and then the weeks in between will be Artists for Everyone videos, and maybe some other special videos too. So you'll still see Dandelion Lessons and Artists for Everyone here, but on my Patreon channel, which I hope you'll visit, I'll leave a link in the description box below, and you can also search for me under Kateri Ewing at www.patreon.com, but I'll leave a link below. But I will be doing a dandelion lesson video every week there for my patrons, and also many other things. So you can check that out and see. It's going to be a busy, thriving, wonderful place to go a little bit more in depth into what I do here. And the patrons, it's $5 a month, so sometimes less than $1.25 a week when it's a 5-week month. I'm trying to keep it really affordable so many people can join me there, and it's just going to be a place where I can go more in depth, and it's a wonderful exchange of energy between me and my patrons, and I will be free to do more content that I'm able to do without it. And it's just going to be a wonderful place. So please check it out. I already have videos up there. Tomorrow I'll be starting a watercolor project. I already have a graphite techniques video up and a sort of a dandelion lesson last week. So you can check that out. It's just beginning, just beginning. And thank you so much to all of you who have joined me there. It means the world to me. And I'm going to make it wonderful for you. But today we're going to do a dandelion lesson. And it is called Many Voices, One Song. And this idea was sort of an epiphany to me when I was on Facebook a couple weeks ago and just recently. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I don't go on there very often. I tend to go on Instagram more because Facebook tends to get really political. And lately, the political climate in the United States has been, and maybe other places too, has been very divisive. You know, I mean, very divisive. It's more divisive than ever to me. And you're either, you know, we all have our own opinions and our own thoughts about politics and about how our government should run. And, you know, the older I get, the more central I become. And I find value in both more conservative views and liberal views. I would say I lean more liberal, but I find a lot of value in conservative views as well. But what I don't find value in is when people on either side treat other people poorly because of their beliefs. And when we use politics to divide us, I don't like that. And I especially don't like when there is unkindness towards specific individuals, or when it's used to divide us further. And I feel like the political climate in our country right now is very divisive. And personally, I'm someone who would vote on either side depending on what I feel is best for the country and best for its people at that time. But more than anything, if you are an elected official who lashes out against other people and who uses divisive politics, you lose me. So I would rather vote for someone who is a decent human being who is trying to unify people, even if I don't totally agree with their politics. The kindness element is really, really important to me, and the ability to unite people is really important to me. And I don't think we can do that by being hateful and being attacking other people if they don't agree with what we believe in. And so I had this thought a couple weeks ago, remembering a concert I was at, and it was a country and western concert, and there were at least 25,000 people there, and people from all walks of life and all income levels and all socioeconomic backgrounds, racial backgrounds, all political beliefs were in attendance. It was just a huge variety of people. And I remember this one song came on that was very familiar to everyone, and this entire body of people, this 25,000 or more people, all started singing the same song. And I just remember thinking, wow, we're all so different, and yet when we all sing together, we have this one voice and this joy, and this it just lifted everyone's spirits, and it was a very visceral experience to hear all of those voices united in one song. And so today's Dandelion lesson is called Many Voices, One Song. And what I'm hoping is that you will try this project. It's a very simple project, but it will be beautiful. And that when you're finished with it, you will mail it off or give it to someone in your life that you may disagree with completely. You might be polar opposites on the spectrum of political beliefs, but you both share your common humanity and desire for the greater good. Even though we come at that from very different perspectives, we all still really share the same hopes, okay? For the most part, I really believe that. And so this is meant to be a gift, and you'll see. So I have a few supplies here that I want to talk about. I'm going to be using my Wild Thorn paints. Any watercolor set will do. The main thing is that you have a whole rainbow of colors to choose from. And then I have a pencil, and I have a watercolor brush. I have my Strathmore Watercolor Postcards. And what I've done, I'm going to take this out, is I have used a pencil, and I used a circle template. Okay, if you have one of these, it's great. If you don't, you can use coins. You can use coins like dimes and nickels and quarters. And what I did is I created just circles on the card, all touching one another, all different sizes, no specific order, just random, but do it in a pleasing way to you so that all the circles sort of touch a circle next to it, okay? And I'll stop right here and I'll put a photograph in of this so you can see it up close. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So however, if you have a circle template, that's really helpful. If not, you can just draw circles with coins or even freehand. It doesn't matter. But before we begin, I want to talk about complementary colors. And complementary colors are the colors on the color wheel that are opposite one another. And the beauty of complementary colors is when they're next to each other, they make each other more vibrant. And when they're mixed together, they make beautiful arrays of nuanced colors, very neutral, beautiful colors. So, complementary colors are, on our color wheel, are yellow, okay, so any form of yellow, and any form of violet. Okay, so yellow and violet are complementary colors. And then orange, and blue, are complementary colors. Okay, so any orange and any blue. And then red and green. So I don't have a true red in here, but I'm going to use something that's, if you have a true red, use it, but there are many colors that lean toward red in this set. So this would be an example of a red, and then this would be an example of a green. So yellow and purple, orange and blue, and red and green, okay, are complementary colors. So for this project, I'm going to choose orange and blue. All right, because it's one of my favorites, and orange and blue mix together to the most beautiful colors. So I'm going to use orange and blue. And the idea is that we have colors on the polar opposite of the spectrum, the complementary colors. So they're opposite one another, completely opposite. Okay? So think of it as you and your friend who might be very opposite you in their belief system. So think of it that way. And I'm going to just take some time and I'm going to paint these circles, and I'm going to vary the colors as I go between orange and blue, all different ones, and I'm going to let them touch and mix and mingle, and at the end we'll have this beautiful, beautiful thing. All right? So I'm going to just put some music on and I'm going to paint this, and you can watch, and then we'll go from there. so I have filled in all of my circle with different colors of blue and orange, and I even added a little bit of gold and copper. And I'm going to let this dry now, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. But as you can see, the colors are beautiful together. They really make, when you put orange and blue next to one another, they really make each other sing, and they make each other more vibrant. And together, collectively, they make this beautiful, harmonious picture. And so I like to think of it as a reminder of how we can be as people, of how we can strive to be. So let me let this dry, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay, so it's almost dry. It's still a little bit wet, but I think you can see what I mean, how it's very unifying, right? All of these colors look beautiful together, and they all mix and mingle to create even more beautiful colors. And that's how we can be as people too. No matter what our beliefs are, we can unify in our humanity and our hope for the greater good. And that is the focus. That is the focus. And so what I want to do before I send it out, actually I'm going to send it to someone I know here in my village. But I'm going to write at the top, I'm going to write many voices. And then down here, I'm going to write one song. And I'm going to give it to someone who I have argued with in the past about my beliefs and her beliefs. And so, so I hope you'll do the same. I hope you'll make one with one of the sets of complementary colors. You could do 3. You could do one with yellows and violets, one with orange and blue, and one with red and green, and see what you come up with. You can use any watercolors that you have. But the most important thing, just write on it many voices, one song, and give it to someone whom you might not believe in the same things, but you know they're a good person, and you know that you have many, many common elements as well. So that is the lesson today, and I personally want to do better. I want to do better in my acceptance of other beliefs, and try to be someone who unifies instead of divides. And I hope that for all of us. I hope that for all of us. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to leave your comments. I love to see what you're thinking. Share with me on social media. You can tag me on Instagram or Facebook and show me what you create. You can even send it to my email, kateri.ewing@gmail.com. So that's all for today. I'll be back next week with another Artist for Everyone video. And please join me on Patreon just to even take a look and see what's offered there. Many, many good things in store, and I hope you'll take a look. Any questions about that, feel free to ask me too. All right, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you.